goodness, it is so freaking hot. But I just recorded like a reel and a TikTok. Now I need to put my books up because that's essential. This book doesn't even go over here. So I wanted to do like a bookish vlog because I never ever do that. Like, I started doing it and then I stopped doing it, and books are an important part of my life, just like the working out and the running and all those things. So I'm gonna make it a point to do a bookish video. First I have to put my books up. I just did a yes, maybe, or no for what I say, TikTok. So here, if you are into YA thrillers, The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, definitely maybe. It kind of fell short with me. It wasn't like the best book, and I love Holly Jackson. I feel like she writes thrillers that I can get behind. I just couldn't necessarily get behind this thriller. The story was interesting. There was supposed to be like a love interest that I don't know, like it just didn't develop for me, and I feel like that was like a huge part of the book, and it was a no for me. But the story did keep me going, so that's why I'm going to give it a maybe. It wasn't my favorite book, and I thought that it was going to be amazing. Also, what else did I just put up here? Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. Always a go for me. Yes, Abby Jimenez writes great books. It's not like always romance, but the stories, the characters, the way that she develops her characters is like no other in that genre for me. So always a go. And Us Against You, which is part of the second book in the Beartown series, hell yes, go for it. 5 stars. The series is heavy, but it is some of the best written books that I have ever read in my life. It's a go. Okay, so I'm currently sweating because it is just that time of the year. It's hot, but I'm not going to do any bookish things right now, but I will later because I haven't read my 20 minutes for the day. I have been reading Heartstopper, which has been a pleasant surprise. It's a nice little break from it. Today is June 6th. Today is June 6th, yes. And I've already read 3 books, fully read 3 books. So, I want to carefully curate the next book that I'm going to read because I have a lot on my TBR, which I just need to sit down and figure out what is on my Kindle, because that's the difference between having like digital books and then your physical books, because you're constantly looking at physical books to know what's on your TBR. I buy stuff on my Kindle and then it goes away, and then I don't know what I have. I also share with Willie, so like I don't know what books that he has that I want to read. So basically the only TBR books that I have are these next to my little TBR sign. Yes, I for sure want to read all of these books. Are all of those summer reads? Probably not. So I do need to carefully curate what I want to read for the summer, because there's nothing better than a summer read. Everything is light and fun and not so serious, and I want to embrace this time while I have it. Does that make sense? Am I reading too much into that? But yeah, I know for sure I need to read Funny Story about Emily Henry, but I want to sit down and like devote the time to read it. So I don't know. That might be the next book that I read. Might be. I'll let you know for sure. Right now I'm just going to chill out until I have to go to the gym. Saturday, and I am reading Funny Story. So yesterday we went to the water park and did all of those things, and I read when we were out there, and then I've started reading it today. Now I'm giving you, like, I think I'm kind of halfway through. I don't know. Let me check my bookly. Also, it's extremely hard for me to record a video when there are people in the house, because it's like I never, between Willie and the kid, someone's always talking, asking something, whatever. And then I just don't end up recording. But yes, so I'm 43%. Now, if I really wanted to, I could sit down and finish reading this book right now. I read it. I've been reading it on the treadmill. It's so good. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it's just the way that Emily Henry writes her characters. They're just so relatable, and the banter that she has between her characters, it's just good, and it's interesting, and the pacing of the books are just always A++. So it kind of, like, you can really steamroll through a book, and I'm intentionally taking my time reading this book, but I kind of do want to finish it. It is almost 9 o'clock now, and Bookly says that I have like 2.5 hours left, so like I could really go for it. I am enjoying, at this point I should know character names, but I just don't, because I'm recording the video. But I'm really enjoying the two main characters and their story. Their significant others ended up dating each other, so then they were broken up with and they moved in together, and I just kind of like the whole banter between them now. And you know, they're friends, but they're growing into something more, but they don't want to mess things up. And the thing about romance books that can kind of kill a story for me is the third act conflict. So obviously I'm not there yet, so I can't really tell you, but we're not really into the relationship part of the book yet. So the only thing that I can think of is, I hope that I'm not spoiling the book, but I'm just going to put it out there. The only thing that I can think of is maybe one of their exes decides that they want to be with them again, and so then they have to choose between that. But I think, at least on one side, I don't ever see that being like an issue or something that they would want. So it's got to be coming from the other side. Want to check in with you on my video here. I know I'm not doing a very good job. I also haven't been working on my reading journal or any of those bookish things that I said that I was going to do. But I'm currently reading Funny Story, and I've been reading it everywhere. Water park, treadmill, in my reading room, in the bed, everywhere. So now I have a little bit of free time. Even though I want to watch TV, I'm going to sit down and read just for a little bit. I am aware that I am probably the worst vlogger ever, because it is a couple of days later. I have more than finished Funny Story, and I'm like almost done with another book. Whoa. So, I don't know. I have been working on like a blog post about Funny Story, and I guess the book has stuck with me. I really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the relationship between Daphne and Miles. what I really loved that about the book was that it wasn't told in a dual POV, like from chapter to chapter. I feel like that just seems to be like the common thing in like a romance book or a chick lit type book. And I feel like that we can give both POVs without having to go through a book, like chapter, her point of view, his point of view. Now, that being said, I did miss the point of view of Miles a lot in a lot of the different situations, because I feel like we didn't get to understand completely Miles, like his whole like personality. The only parts of Miles that we knew was from like his conversations with Daphne. So it would have been nice to get inside of his head a little bit. And like I said, you can accomplish that, you know, instead of going like this chapter is this chapter, blah, blah, blah. Like we could kind of incorporate that, but I guess also if the story was told like that, then it would kind of have to be told in a different way. And so then it gets a little bit more complicated. But I did really, really love the banter between Daphne and Miles. That's the one thing that Emily Henry does well. Also, I enjoyed the friendship between Ashley and Daphne, which had me like wanting to know more about Ashley. And I don't know, like I kind of wish that Ashley had her own book, because like I really, really want to know more about her and her situation and how she's going to rise up from that and everything. Like, and I loved how she was not like a yes friend to Daphne, because obviously she's older and she's got a kid and like she's had all of these other different life circumstances. So she's got the no BS, I don't have time for that type stuff. And I can totally relate to that. And when she calls Daphne out on being like a wee girl and all that, I loved it. Like it was a pivotal part of the book. And I understand that she was lashing out, but you know, like it was just, that was honest. And I don't know. I just love the whole like redemption stories of all of these characters. I just really, really enjoyed it. I don't know. I really loved the story. I didn't like how the fake dating thing kind of went into it. And because we were building up to this point of the wedding and we never ever really reached that point. So the point of the fake dating was kind of just like stupid, I guess, in my opinion. I don't want to give too much away about the book because I definitely have personal opinions about it. But if you're into like chick lit, you know, Emily Henry writes, yes, she writes romance books, but they're like another level. It's kind of like Abby Jimenez, in my opinion. Like they are put under this niche of being these romance writers, but it's definitely chick lit. And, you know, I know back in like the 90s and stuff, like that was like a huge term to use. You don't hear anybody talk about chick lit anymore, but this is exactly what it is. This is, you know, women's literature, and I love it. I love it. I don't know. When I first finished reading the book, I was like, no, this isn't a 5-star book, but this book has really like stuck with me. I did rate it 4.75 because there were a couple of things that I didn't like about it, but I don't know. It's definitely a book that I would recommend to other people. Like I remember it. Like I remember absolutely nothing about Happy Place. I don't know. Like I've said, this book has stuck with me. I've written a blog post on it, and well, actually, I need to finish doing that right now. And I'm actually kind of really proud of what I have created here about Funny Story, and that's the same kind of feeling that I had with Magnolia Parks. So maybe this book is like sticking with me like that. Yeah, but I really, really enjoyed the book, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Anyway, I need to go finish my blog post right now. And so you can check that out on my reading blog, proofangelareads.com. Go check it out, y'all. Okay, so we are getting ready to go to the water park, but I wanted to pop back in here and refresh my reading week for you. I really want to work on my reading journal, so hopefully when we get back, that is something that I'll be able to do. But so I finished reading Archenemies. Is it by Marissa Myer? I don't know who it's by, which is the second book in the Renegades trilogy, and I'm super excited because I got Willie to read Renegades, and he said that he liked it, and you know, he wasn't like in love with it, but he liked it. So, and I feel the same way. It's very YA written, so like when you come from like reading other books and then you come into a YA fantasy, it's a little bit different, right? So, okay, so I finished the second book, and I liked the second book a lot more than the first book because the first book was filled with so much setup, and then the second book I feel like we're moving along with the action a little bit, with the plan of Nova trying to get herself integrated with the Renegades and all that. So it was very like interesting to see that, and how she's kind of like stuck in between these two worlds of being a renegade and an anarchist. Is that what they are? I don't remember. So, yeah. So that she's kind of like stuck in between these two worlds. One world that she's trying to defend and one world that she's trying to take down. But then she's realizing that the people in between in this world that she's trying to take down, they're not also bad. They're not also evil. And she's like very mad for a very particular reason. And I don't want to give that away because then that kind of like might ruin the book for you. But like she's mad for a very particular reason, so I wonder if that particular reason is actually like the truth, or is she gonna find out like what really happened, and the real reason why she was so mad is not really a reason for her to be mad. So, you know, I'm interested to see what's going to happen there. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with her uncle now. And I know that the Adrian and Nova thing are supposed to be like this huge, like, build-up thing. I mean, I'm interested in it, but it's not like the reason why I'm reading the book. So I understand if they're trying to throw a little YA romance in there, but it's not the reason why I'm reading. I want to know what's going to happen with the Renegades, and how, you know, like, how are they going to use this new power that they have? And I don't know. It's just a lot of different things. And for the first time in this whole series, I'm excited to read the third book. I went ahead and read the second book because it wasn't available at the library for the longest time, and then all of a sudden it popped up again. So that's how that got thrown into my reading rotation. So I finished that. Did I finish it yesterday? Yes, I finished it yesterday. And then yesterday I also picked up This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I've read Meet Me at the Lake, which, you know, I had mixed feelings about. I did like the book. I didn't like the conflict in the book. So I'm hoping that we kind of don't have that same problem here. I'm about, I don't know, 70 pages in. I read it yesterday when I did my mile on the treadmill. I've read it this morning on my mile on the treadmill. And so apparently it's about Bee, who is going to Prince Edward Island for her friend's wedding or whatever. But it flashes back between then and now. And apparently she hooked up with her best friend's brother, which was a rule that she wasn't supposed to hook up with him or whatever, which I don't understand what the big deal is, especially if she likes him. So that's kind of at the point that we are. Like, she hooked up with her friend's brother like years ago. Now it's like 5 years later, and they're coming back to the island for the wedding, and, you know, she's still harboring the secret. And I'm like, girl, what is the big deal? Just tell your friend. Like, if your friend is going to get mad about that, then it's not really like a friendship, right? I don't know. Like, just seems a little bit contrived. Like I said, I'm only 70 pages into the book. So hopefully this isn't like the drag on the book, but I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, already 70 pages in. But yeah, so now we're going to go to the water park. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to read there because we're going to go have fun. But I wanted to come in and give you a little book update. Okay, so I am still reading This Summer Will Be Different. I forget what page I'm on. I use Bookly to track everything, but then I think that the page numbers in Bookly are off. Let me wait for this to update. I hate how it takes so long for... I read it on several different Kindles, and then it takes forever for it to, like, update. To sync to the furthest page. Okay. Okay, well this says that I'm on page 272. And that says that's 80% of this book. So I'm definitely gonna try and steamroll this tonight. So if you're, I don't know. Okay, so the thing about this. So now I previously talked about how she was, you know, she had hooked up with her best friend's brother and all of those things. And if she was really a true friend, like her friend really wouldn't care as long as they were happy. So now we've built up this whole thing to tell her about, you know, the relationship she's having with her brother. And then she kind of just like blew it off. And then like, I don't know. And then we were also mounting towards the other conflict in the book that just turned out to be nothing shocking either. So, like, I don't know. That was kind of, I don't know. The conflict just seemed a little bit contrived here. It just, I don't know. Seeing as though that we went through all of these pages in this book and then that's what we came up with. I don't know. I'm not feeling good about this book. And I don't know, but I'm going to keep reading. I am interested in the romance, so I want to know what's going to happen on that front, and hopefully there's not like some weird third act conflict that makes absolutely no sense, even though I kind of already see one coming about the different worlds that they live in. So I don't know if that's really going to happen or what, but how are we going to make this work? How are we going to make it work? This summer will be different. Let's see. Alright, I honestly don't remember the last thing I recorded for this bookish video that I was doing. And I can tell you one thing, I never ever got around to doing my reading journal, which is the problem, is that I haven't been doing it. So I need to make a point to sit down and to do my reading journal. I have all the stuff, I have all the pages, I just don't ever put it together. And here we are, we're almost halfway through the year. I've read something like 44 books, so that's gonna be a lot of stuff to catch up on. But here we are. Let's talk about it. I finished this yesterday. The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Now, I didn't read Meet Me at the Lake. It just because it didn't get really good reviews, and I usually don't listen to other people, but I just decided not to read it. I did read the first book. What was it called? I don't know what it was called, but yeah, I did read it. I did like it. I didn't like the conflict, the twist in it. So here we are. The Summer Will Be Different. This was a good book. I liked seeing how B and Felix's relationship like evolved over time, especially because in the beginning it was like purely like a physical relationship. And so like you're going through the book and you're kind of like thinking like, so what? Like, do they have like any real connection? But then it was told in a now and then perspective. So then, so you kind of got to see like how the relationship evolved over time without like it being like a full-blown relationship. The conflict or the twist or whatever it was, I don't know. When I got to that point of the book, I was kind of like let down because we were making it seem like a way bigger deal than what it actually was. And so like, if we're not really going for it, then that kind of makes the story not believable, I guess. Or maybe we should have downplayed it in the beginning because when all the secrets and stuff came out, then it was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, blah blah blah, you know. And I was like, so that was like the main plot point of the book, was that this was happening. And you know, like, I don't know, it just didn't make sense with how like nonchalant it was. And then I didn't like how the story ended, because I feel like they went through all of these things, and yes, she explained it away in the last chapter of whatever, or why things were the way that they were. But I don't know, I wasn't satisfied with that, because that's just not, I mean, maybe it is real life, but like maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. I have definite opinions about what happened at the end of the book and the state of their relationship. And I don't want to say it here because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who wants to read this book. But if you have read the book, comment down below, what do you think about their relationship status and all of that at the end of the book. Because I need somebody to talk to about it. But all in all, I mean, it was a good book. It was good for what it was. It was a nice summer read for me. I gave it 3.75 stars. Yeah, so that was my Goodreads thing, and that is what I thought about this book. So now I need to pick another book to read. I'm also reading Open by Andre Agassi. I was just going to listen to the audiobook, but then I don't know, it just wasn't a vibe for me. So then I had to find a copy of the book. Long wait at the library. I'm listening to it on Spotify because it was an even longer wait. And I just, you know, I thought I was just going to listen to the audiobook. But now I'm actually reading the book. I got it off of Cloud Library, which I don't like to read on that because I have to read it on my phone or on my iPad, which really shouldn't even make a difference because all I've been doing is reading books on my phone or on my iPad. So that makes zero sense what I just said there. But, yeah, so now I'm going to pick my next book. It's either going to be The Paradise Problem. Oh, I don't even have my phone. It's either going to be The Paradise Problem, or what's the other book that I got from the library? I also did get Heartstopper Volume 2, so I will also read that because I'm very excited about that. What else did I get? No, it's probably going to be The Paradise Problem for right now. I haven't read a Kristen Lauren book in a very, very, very long time, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm trying to continue the trend of the summer vibe thing going, and I'm reading the Andre Agassi book because I want to add a little bit more nonfiction into life. Like, before I used to read a lot of nonfiction, but it was a lot of like teach me something books. But I actually do like memoirs, so that's why. And I love a good sports story. If you know me, sports documentaries and all that stuff, that's my jam. So here we go. So I'll let y'all know how that goes. And there's one more thing I want to add in this video, but I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm going to do the mid-year like book tag thing because I think that'll be very interesting since I don't consistently talk about my books here. But I'm very excited to do that. But for now, I'm going to pick my next book. I swear I think I got another one from the library, but I just don't remember. I've been using the Scribe to make my notes, but... Oh, Love Theoretically. That's what I'm going to start now. I did. I got that from the library, and I bought the audiobook in the Audible sale. So that is...